Did it matter? So he's obviously been applying himself very well all week. And as I say, there was a 28-minute frame that, and the only thing wrong with it is losing it. I mean, you don't mind it. If you stick another one on the board next to your name, you're fine.
The players with huge talent that make the game look so easy sometimes win many frames in a very relaxed and comfortable manner, and they don't particularly have that much practice at winning the scrappy frames as other players. So sometimes it takes them a while perhaps to get used to enjoying that type of snooker. But as a player gets older, usually they start to understand, even if they haven't originally, they start to understand that there's a sort of beauty in a scrappy frame as well. Not necessarily for the fans, not for the sort of the general public who are one way or the other, but I think a lot of the snooker fans, when we had polls on what type of snooker they like, surprisingly the amount of people that like the tactical frame and the tactical battle as opposed to the century break after century break type of snooker. So you have to play all types of snooker to win.
And the way the standard are these days as well, you win a lot less if you don't have a B game. That's for certain, because there's plenty of people in there capable of potting balls like you can. So some frames that have turned up this week and been awkward, Neil Robertson's applied himself. He's not wasted a shot on any of them. The match with Judd Trump, I was so impressed with him. Every shot had a purpose about it. He wasn't just trying to put the cue ball down in the book area. It was behind the yellow or lined up on the green or the brown or something. There was a purpose there all the time.
And interestingly, a frame like that for us snooker players is of more interest to see how players are coping with it than a frame where someone makes 100 break. That's the type of frame we sort of can judge what's going on with.
Well, it's turning into a very hard-fought final, as we say. This is the penultimate frame of the afternoon.
Not a bad pace with the break-off shot, although there is a possible red. That's the one he's looking at, and if it goes in, he could get himself onto the black, and if he happens to miss it, the only one he could leave would be the one he's playing. Pretty good effort, a little smile there. He knows he cued that very well. Well, I'm surprised he played that one, because it's knocked the black safe. He could have took a chance of opening the reds there and playing a good safety shot. Now it's going to be a scrappy frame when the black heads to the side cushion. It's bringing the red up as well, but even if he can get through to it, there's no black to play on. See, Neil could have come off the side of the pack and opened them up and played a good safety. And playing that one, canting into the black, has put it out of commission. And there he's knocked the blue safe, so there's very little available now.
Hasn't actually worked out too bad. He can put this green and then left centre. And those three reds just left of the pink there do pot into, well, certainly two of them do pot into this bottom left hand corner pocket. And should he get on the pink, I think the pink spot is covered and may have to go on the black spot, so that will certainly help him.
Yeah, the pink spot looks as if it's occupied, so that's
4.
the only chance he'll have with the pink going onto the black spot, as you said, Ken. But hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with winning a frame of potting reds and pinks, is there?
Absolutely not. He's played that well. The thing about this position is that you'll try and keep that pink on the black spot as long as possible.
11.
Well, I can see another possible 4, maybe 5 reds with pinks available. The two at the back of the bunch, as he gets on one, it'll clear the path to the other. Just depends on the angle he has here, whether he can run it through. He could, but he's come up a little bit short, so this will develop things. He's got to be careful he doesn't free the pink spot slightly.
18.
As Ken says, he wants to keep that pink spot area covered, but he left that a little bit short on the positional side. If he's straight on that, he pots that, clears the path for the one to the left of it. Now it's change of plan.
Listen, the thing about this shot, Dennis, if he uses it, pots this and screws back, he will definitely probably free the pink spot. If he runs through with it, he may be okay. But that was always the problem. He was running into other reds and didn't follow through enough to make this pink. The fact that he's a left-hander makes it slightly easier, but he will be stretching to get this pink.
And he needs a cannon on a red to stop the white from running away back up the table. He's trying to play a delicate little screw shot here. Oh, that's a beauty.
Excellent shot. And as you said, he cannoned the red. He held it for this red
25.
into the right hand corner pocket. Did have a look at this before he played that pink, so that is exactly what he wanted to do. Very well played.
$26.
I think a couple of these reds at the bottom of this pack go into this bottom right hand corner pocket. Pink spot still held, so pink will go back on its black spot.
32.
Well, I mentioned I'd seen 4 or 5 pinks available. There's more pinks available now.
$39. 40.
6th pink coming up. Got 1 green in there for good measure.
Yes, and he doesn't have to go into the bunch again. He's a couple of loose reds, still potable. And when he pots this red, that will open up the red just below it into the bottom right hand corner pocket.
46.
So far this has been an excellent break. Again, he's got to be careful. He's running into reds here. If he was dead straight, he would have been perfect, but he's running into reds, and that may open up the pink spot again. And that's just what he's contemplating here.
Well, he's overscrewed that. He needs to finish nicely on the green. He hasn't, so he'll probably just tuck him tight in behind the green. There's the angle that he's faced with. He's got a 47-point advantage. He's got plenty of cue power to pot this and screw the cue ball. Now you watch this shot. What about that for a little bit of cue power? Well, I thought this was going to be a
51.
scrappy frame with the blue and black safe. And he's had 2 greens and 6 pinks, and he's finished a little awkward here, but he's not far away from clinching the frame with this effort. This is the key shot. Needs good cueing. This is a John Parrott special, this. Yeah, never misses off the cushion, John Parrott. And Neil Robertson's pretty good also.
57. 58.
Probably because he was on the cushion most of the time when he was playing John Parrott, but he was always very good. This has been an excellent break from Neil Robertson.
It really has been a terrific
65.
effort, this, from the Australian. Every credit to him for this break. I think that's 8 pinks now and 2 greens. In fact, it's 9 pinks.
71.
Not often you see this. Well, he's obviously got fed up having the pink. He decided to develop the black, but the frame is safe, so why not try and develop a few more? Well, he's finished up missing the black, so maybe he doesn't like the black. Pink is now his favourite colour, so what an effort from the Australian there. That was a superb break of 72, and he's back in the lead at 4 frames to 3.
So just one more frame to be played this afternoon in the session. Let me tell you, if you're waiting for Ski Sunday, it will follow immediately after the conclusion of this session. And as you all know, the Hannon Calm is always worth waiting for. It will be along very shortly with Graham and Ed. But that was a beautifully constructed break from Neil Robertson, wasn't it? Particularly with the black out of commission on the side rail.
Well, there's been a couple of centuries this afternoon, but that was by far the best break. I mean, technically that was, you know, exceptionally difficult. When you look at the table, as Dennis said in commentary, you didn't think, you looked it was going to be a scrappy frame. To make a break from there and a contribution like that was superb.
Mostly pinks and greens.
Well, there was a bit of everything in it, wasn't it? But it was just seriously good cueing. I mean, one shot with the green in the middle pocket round the angles was an absolute pearler. But brilliant just to make that break like that. Impressions of it, Steve?
Yeah. I mean, Neil Robertson has every part of his game in good nick, really. And that's, I think, one of the nice things about a player with a good balanced game. They can play tactically and then break out of that and then get into a frame and get into a rhythm very quickly. And that's not easy for some players. Struggle to do that. And that, for me, is one of the things I think he has had some criticism for being slow. Quite wrongly, in my opinion. I don't